everybody? I wanted to come on here and react to this video of Tucker Carlson with his statement about the CIA investigating him and supposedly him talking to some Iranian people. It's quite a fishy video, but let's react to it, shall we? Please like and subscribe, share the video. I would appreciate it.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable. And moreover, it's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening around the world. That's literally what I do for a living, and I'm not going to stop doing that, nor should I don't think. I'm also an American. I can talk to anybody. I have no secrets to divulge. So legally, I think the case is ludicrous, and I doubt it'll even become a case. I'm bringing this up for a couple of reasons, though, and they're pretty obvious. One is that countries tend to become more authoritarian in wartime. It's just the nature of war. People are dying. The stakes are high. People's emotions have risen to a very high point, to a crescendo. And so there's much less tolerance for any kind of dissent in the homeland. The irony, of course, is the United States fights wars on behalf of freedom, but there's always less of it here in our country during war. So that's a widely recognized phenomenon, and it's likely to happen now too. Another point to make that is worth knowing is that the USIC, the intelligence agency, spy on Americans. Now, you probably knew that, and it's been revealed a lot, including by Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom were threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than most people understand, and it's outrageous. There's no justification for your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA or people within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel. And they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So that is an absolutely real thing. But the main reason they do it is to leak the existence of the investigation, such as it is, to the media, and then humiliate and terrify the subjects of this op. And that's, of course, happened to me repeatedly, many times, including in famously 2021, when I was still at Fox News and trying to set up an interview with Vladimir Putin. And the NSA, I heard from someone there, had grabbed my text messages with an American citizen and had leaked them to news outlets. Those texts were basically my attempts to set up an interview with the foreign head of state, and they leaked them to the New York Times in order to stop the interview, which they successfully did, by the way. And they admitted that they were spying on me. This is not a fantasy. It actually happened. They did it again 2 years later. My second attempt to get a Putin interview, I managed to get it anyway, and they've done it since. And so when you get a call from a reporter who knows the contents of your texts, it's pretty clear something's going on. None of this, in my judgment, as of right now, is a huge threat to me. So I'm not making this video to complain about it or whine or ask you to send me money because I'm under attack. I'm saying it because it's true, and you should know what your own government is doing, and you should know what the stakes are. And you should know that a lot of what happens in this country that affects outcomes happens behind the scenes. Some of it is legal, some of it is not, including what I'm describing now. But it has an effect. And the intel agencies, again, not everyone in the intel agencies, because there are decent, hardworking Americans who work in the intel agencies are Americans, just like there are decent, hardworking Americans who work at the DMV. But there are also people with agendas and grudges and no sense of restraint who are happy to misuse the power they have, granted them by our elaborate secrecy laws, to hurt fellow Americans for ideological reasons. That is entirely real. That's the story of Russiagate. And it's likely that things like that will begin to happen at greater scale now. So you should just know that going forward. Thanks.
So my thing on it is he was quite silent about who he specifically talked about in Iran and who he talked to. And he didn't mention going to the White House a couple of days before we attacked Iran. And he didn't talk about what was said. And he wants to say the text messages. This guy has been talking about radical Islam shit for the past year. He has been pushing stuff. And it's all coming to a head, man. It's all coming to a head. And shit. Hell, I used to like the guy. I used to watch him all the time. And it's just like Candace Owens. I used to watch Candace Owens. And it's like all these people, Candace Owens, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, the Hodge twins. These people like it was like they got in this group and was like decided to push a certain agenda, and they were gonna run with it and try to call the people that supported MAGA fake or Israel first bullshit, and they were going to try to push their agenda and try to force people to think that they were real MAGA. And they ain't MAGA, period. They don't represent the Republican Party. None of them do, including Massey. He's a Democrat in a Republican seat. And none of these people represent or speak for the Republican Party or MAGA. If anybody's MAGA, it's Trump. Trump's MAGA. Trump's America First. He's the one that made the shit. He's the one that came up with it. He is the one that set the goals, the standards, everything. And these YouTube influencers think that they can just hijack the shit. No. It don't work like that. And if you support them, that's you. But I might do a little more research, especially with Tucker Carlson working for MSNBC and CNN, of course Fox News, and he's been a fence rider for decades, showing Democrat shit and Republican. He's rode the fence. Candace Owens was a radical leftist just not even 10 years ago, and said that she was conservative overnight. And these people, this certain group, it shows signs of um, not being legit, and some people have bought into it, and that's them if they want to do that, but not me. I ain't stupid enough. But if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want. And if you like this, let me know, and I will continue to put videos out like this. All right.